How do you rotate a point 270 degrees about the origin? Rotating a point 270 degrees about the origin in one direction is the same as rotating the same point 90 degrees in the opposite direction. A full 360-degree rotation returns you to the same point. In other words, rotating first by 270 degrees and then by a further 90 degrees returns you to the same point. It's this fact that lets you perform a 270-degree rotation by rotating 90 degrees in the opposite direction. Let's see this more clearly in our first example. Consider this point placed on the x-axis. It has coordinates 4, 0. Now, let's rotate the point counterclockwise by 90 degrees. You end up here. The rotated point is now placed on the y-axis at 0, 4. Let's continue the rotation. Now the points are opposite each other. The 2 points are both placed on the x-axis with the same distance from the origin. Let's continue the rotation to 270 degrees. The rotated point ends up being placed on the y-axis at 0, -4. Let's see what happens if you instead rotate the original point clockwise by 90 degrees. You end up here, in the same location as when you rotated the point counterclockwise by 270 degrees. This will always be the case. A 270-degree rotation in one direction is the same as a 90-degree rotation in the opposite direction. Where the point is placed initially doesn't matter. Let's use this fact to rotate this point, placed at 3, 2, clockwise 270 degrees. You now know you can just perform a 90-degree rotation in the opposite direction. So, you end up here, at -2, 3. Rotating a point 270 degrees about the origin in one direction is the same as rotating the same point 90 degrees in the opposite direction.